Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a wonderful day or night and that you'll enjoy the video, and thank you so much for watching.
I'm back again with some more dating tips. Girl, if that man is in the talking stage with you, or if you guys are already official and he's on his Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook stories like this, like showing off the construction site, the office, the break room, the coworkers, hey. Girl, that man wants attention from all the other bitches watching his stories. Stay woke.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at the last few years, being woke actually did help nobody. Or no, maybe I should not say that. It did help you and women like you stay single. And when it comes to men, we see you for who you are, and it helps us stay away. So maybe it's a win-win. I don't even know how is that a dating tip. Dating tip should be open the door for her, pull up her chair, chew your food before you speak, and if while during the date she mentions herself being woke, ask for the check, split it, and leave. That's as good as a dating tip just like yours. But how's this for a different idea? If they're official, that means they're in a relationship. So how about you let them be? They don't need your stupid ideas in their head.
If you are in the passenger seat of a car and the driver is maybe a little befuddled, confused, stressed, lost, and they say to you, "Is anybody on my right?" What do you do? How do you respond to that situation? What do you do? What do you say? Pause the video, comment, and come back. Because I was just in that situation. I was befuddled. I was lost and stressed to no end. And I turned to my friend and I said, "Hey, is anybody on my right?" And she said, "I don't know." Anyway, I asked him, "Is it even legal to own a wallaby in this state?" And then we nearly got taken out by a Jeep because she didn't help me and I needed help. And I'm embarrassed to say I got yelly, okay? I was like, "What is wrong with you? Would it have been that hard to check my blind spot?" And then I thought, whoops, that is not how you talk to humans. And so I immediately brought it back down. I said, "I'm sorry, I shouldn't have yelled at you. I think you need a kangaroo permit to own a wallaby in the state of Washington." And she was like, "That's what I told him." And I was like, "Can you just acknowledge though that was a weird thing that you just did, that what you just, that's not customarily how that's handled."
Wow, you're all over the place in this one. First of all, yes, you don't need a permit to own a wallaby. Second of all, I don't know why you want to own that as a pet. They don't make great pets, especially for inside the home. But now that we got what nobody cares about out of the way, back to you. You're not a rally driver. You don't need a co-pilot to turn left or right. Try to understand the size of your vehicle. Try to understand the blind spot. And if you still find hard to drive your car, just call an Uber.
I tried to stitch a TikTok in which this girl was leaving like at 3 a.m. and paid for her own Uber after a guy told her that she could come over if she wanted to. Number one, if a guy makes you pay for your own ride, doesn't pick you up, and on top says you can come over if you want just so he can have sex, that man is using you. And I don't care if he says, "I do like you, I'm just tired, I don't have money for an Uber right now," or whatever he says. If he is inviting you over and says you can come over if you want to have sex, I can guarantee you that as soon as he's done, he's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm tired, I'm gonna go to sleep. You can go home though if you want." I've known of men that drive hours to see a girl for 15 minutes, not even hold her hand, just to be around her. Don't settle. Todas hemos sido pendejas, incluyéndome yo, y es por eso que les digo todo lo que les digo.
No, it doesn't matter if you speak English or Spanish, I'm still not gonna take your word for it. Not even the king of Sims will drive for a few hours just to be around you for 15 minutes and not even hold your hand. That's never gonna happen. And I don't need to tell you that I don't have money or I cannot afford to pay for an Uber. I'm gonna tell you from the beginning, I'm not paying for your Uber. I can pick you up and drop you off, but I'm not gonna pay for you to just ride along in a car. The only way I can see that happening is after we had sex, and I cannot wait to get you out of the house. But even then, chances are you're gonna pay for your own Uber.
One thing that I love about kids is that you can get them to do anything if you just frame it as a game. One of my favorite games is the Sleeping Dragon game, and that's where I'm a sleeping dragon and they don't want to wake up a sleeping dragon. And if you frame it as I'm a sleeping dragon, they're not going to wake you up because they think it's a game and they're going to have so much fun. So if you have a little kid, like a toddler age kid, Definitely recommend the Sleeping Dragon game. They'll love it, and you'll get to sleep.
Yeah, absolutely. What is also what I love most about kids is I can have them so they can clean my house. But you sound exhausted. Make sure you get a good nap between two sleeps. And don't worry, those kids are gonna raise themselves.
You want to know why people who are in affairs don't like me? Because truth hurts. Even as somebody who had an affair as the other woman, I understand that my actions have consequences. And I hurt a lot of people. My husband, my family, the other person's wife. I understand that it was selfish and I was delusional. I understand that what I went through wasn't real love because now that I'm outside of the fog, I can see clearly how delusional I was and how it was just an addiction and limerence. When you are actually walking in an affair, it is hard to hear these truths. And you become extremely defensive if you are the other woman or started your relationship as the other woman. It's natural, but the truth is you probably need to hear my message more than anybody because we have to take self-accountability. The only way to grow is not through enabling, but truth and self-awareness.
Yeah, no, it's not hard to hear the truth when you're walking into an affair. You knew exactly what you were doing, and you just didn't care. It was more important for you to get your validation from a different man than to consider your husband or your family. I don't care how much you're preaching about awareness right now, to me you're still a horrible human being. You having an affair was a choice, it was not an accident. And the only reason you're talking about it right now is because you got caught and you got dumped. Otherwise, if you didn't get caught, you would still be in an affair right now. Still cheating on your husband, still not caring about him, and still not caring about the other man's wife. Right, so there's music playing on the background that I had to mute, and she pretty much says nothing, but I'm gonna read what she said anyway. I know vabbing has mixed opinions and views, but if you tried it, did it work? And that's it. That's everything she said. So now let me address the elephant in the room. I know that was bad, but I don't even care anymore. In case you live a normal life and you don't know what vabbing is, I envy your life. But since I'm a huge a-hole, let me bring you into my world. This is your warning before I provide some context. So either skip ahead or stop eating. Vabbing is whenever a woman sticks her fingers into her lady parts, sometimes not even taking a shower before, and then tapping that juice behind her ears, on her neck, and on her wrist. So it's pretty much like wearing a perfume. Only this is the type of perfume that you do not want to get hugged with. But just know that if you get a hug and suddenly it smells like fish, this is the reason why. Now that probably everyone got disgusted by what I said, back to the elephant, back to my point. Did it work? No, absolutely it didn't, and absolutely it doesn't. Looking at you, I don't care if you take your lady parts and turn them upside down and wear them as a hat. I'm still not gonna take a second look at you. I don't care how many hormones, how many pheromones you used on your body. I don't even care how many jacks I had before I saw you. If you're the only one in the bar, I'm still gonna go home alone. I bet just like you did.
If you're sitting here feeling like you're failing in life by not being on a dating app, no, you're not. And you're not failing in life because you're not dating someone. Your life is way more than the people that you date. And your value is way more than the people who want to date you. These people cannot give you your value. You are the only one who gives you your value. You know that you don't have to be on a dating app. And you know that you don't have to be romantically available to men. You don't have to be romantically available, period. The only person that you have to be available to is yourself. You're not losing anything by not dating men constantly in every month of the year. This idea that you are losing out somehow on your life by not making yourself pursuable to men, it's giving inner misogyny. Who would come up with that idea? That you need to constantly be available? If it's giving MEN, that's because that's what it is. And sometimes, yeah, women can put this out there too, along with the idea that you need to have kids by a certain age or that you need to be doing a certain thing by a certain time. No, you don't.
Okay, so let me make sure I got this right. If or when women want to date men, that's internalized misogyny. Okay, fair enough. I don't understand how many times I need to say cuckoo before someone pays attention. But let's move on. Either you like it or not, women do have two clocks. One is a beauty clock and the second one is a biological clock. It's fine when you're young to say you don't need a man or you don't need kids. and that's great. But when you turn older, as you guys can see on screen, childless women are 46% more likely to report high depression compared to mothers. So that will be your biological clock. If you're lucky and you were born with beauty, you can push your beauty until maybe 50. But your biological clock is gonna run out of ticks and tacks before maybe 40. That's why I always say, make sure when you're young you take decisions that you can live with for the rest of your life. Anyway, let's move on to your value. It's great and I understand that you want to see your value. The problem is, if you're the only one who sees your value, you're pretty much invisible to everyone else. Unfortunately, most of the times it's the market that determines your value, not you. You don't even need to take my word for it. Let's use this as an example. Polina Poriskova feels invisible at 56, even though she's a supermodel. I try to flirt with guys and they will just walk away from me mid-sentence. Well, no, Sherlock. So if that's happening to a supermodel, what do you think is gonna happen to you once you hit the wall? I do agree with you about dating apps. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that's not where you go if you're trying to find a relationship. But everything else you said, cuckoo.
Too many of my amazing ladies out there in the dating game settling for less than they deserve. And I am here to tell you to keep those standards high, keep your head held high, and keep that confidence up, okay? Stop settling for less because you're lonely.
Ah, cuckoo. No, I meant fair enough. Don't settle for less. Less than what? When you say less, what are you talking about? Status? Personality? Money? Looks? Character? Don't settle because you're lonely. Well, what exactly is that is keeping you lonely? Do you even know? Let me let you in on a little secret. Those amazing women that you're talking about, they're not listening to you on TikTok. They're too busy living their best life next to their husbands.
Oh my god! Bro, whatever man I marry in the future, he better have a dad. Because who's gonna walk me down the aisle? I'm not walking myself. I can't be walking down the aisle myself holding the bouquet. Because I'll get too embarrassed. I'll be like, why are you all here? No, future husband, make sure your dad is still in your life so he can walk me down the aisle, yeah? Alright?
You mean you were raised by a single mother? I would have never guessed that. Let me just add this and I'll shut up. If I were you, I would be more worried about finding a husband first and then if he has a dad or not.
If you're ever having a rough day and need something to laugh at, just remember that one time my uncle brought home a vegan for Thanksgiving dinner, but it was okay. She ate chicken. Because chickens are a mythical creature, like unicorns. Except I'm pretty sure she thought unicorns were actually real. And so all of that chicken you see in the grocery store, that's fake. Chicken is a made-up flavor. That's why you say everything tastes like chicken. Yeah. For the record, Thanksgiving dinner was held at my family's farm where we had actual live chickens running around. She kept asking what kind of duck they were.
Yeah, so not even chickens are what they used to be. I did try to come up with something smart, but the truth is, she blocked me. I got nothing. My brain pretty much shut down and it's gonna be on recovery for a while. So this is gonna be it for today. As always, I do hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe and I will see you in the next one.